Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is manual. It is talking about the individual or teamwork and using some tools to shifting and handling of some specific materials. If it is in mechanical material handling, there will be a lifting equipment like hoist, lift, and for men and for material. And for lifting machines, we have cranes and crabs will be there, and witches will be there, chain pulley blocks will be there, directs will be there, and overhead crane, which means EOT cranes will be there, monorails will be there, forklifts will be there, hydro cranes will be there. Like that, many types of lifting machines are there. If you see in lifting tackles, as we know, slings and rings, hooks, shackles and shovels will be there, and couplings and sockets, clamps and trays, and also lifting chains and also lifting belts. So these are the some of the lift tackles in our regular operations we use for handling of materials. And transport equipment is also one of the part in handling of materials, maybe in mobile crane and crawler or tire mounted hydras. And if you see in industrial trucks, we can see the platform or pallet or forklift, and tractor trolleys or hand lift trucks, and wheelbarrows. These are different types of industrial trucks are there. And if you see the conveyor types, there are many types of conveyors based on the manufacturing process. They used to adopt belt conveyors and slat and apron or flight or chain conveyors, screw conveyors, and bucket conveyors, pneumatics and results and portables. There are different types of conveyor methods are there for handling materials based on the manufacturing process. And others will be mechanical shovels and elevators and escalators. This is also one kind of metal handling equipments in our day-to-day life and in industrial operations. If you see the general requirements of metal handling, a mechanical handling is defined as a movement of goods by mechanical force for the purpose of feeding, loading, unloading to or from a machine or a plant or a storage place. It means handling by the mechanical force. Here we are not using any human efforts. It is done by the mechanical force to shift a material from plant or a storage location or a process area, which means shifting of material from the one location to other location. In this also, many hazards will be there while handling materials with the machines. Mainly those are of mechanical handling will be contact with the moving dangerous parts. One is contact or entangle with the moving parts, or pulley belts or gears, or in running nips or couplings. Any running part with chance of these of hazard from the height on the and stuck by the. You'll see equipment which use as mechanical of handling traveling crane. It is EOT. It is a quite common equipment of materials from one end to other end. It is having two ends. It can travel and lifting, shifting, and placing anywhere in the traveling area. It will have some limited traveling area. So in the traveling area, it will allow us to take the material. Another one, gantry crane. Here also we use lifting and shifting at a desired places in their traveling area. These power trucks, there are 3 or 4-wheel trucks will be there to pick, hold, and carry, which used for the transport materials, useful in making piles and stacking and unstacking. which is also used for keeping the materials while for stacking. And if we already stacked material is there, we use these power trucks for unstacking of such material. Then the fourth one, power trucks. There will be also 3 or 4 wheeler trucks will be there. This is also same application we use for pick, hold, and carrying of materials. For similar kind of application we use. And conveyors. The conveyors will be transporting, carrying materials between two fixed points. Either two ends will be there. Maybe the material will be loaded on one end, and other end will be the destination of that material. So this conveyors will be majorly used for transporting or carrying of metals from one place to other place. Useful as a feeding device where the manual feeding is unsafe and workers should not ride on the conveyors. This will be using as a feed, which means the conveyor is directly connected to the process machine. For example, if you see any what do you call stone crushing unit, carrying the stones and it is directly dumping into the crusher. So there people cannot go and put the crush the stones on the crusher. It may sometimes it may while crushing it may throw. So such kind of dangerous machines, these conveyors will be acting as a feeder, and they are used to connect load or worker should not be ride on the conveyors. This is also one of the hazard the people used to while making fun in the shop floor or work area. They used to ride on the conveyors. So we should not allow them to ride on the conveyor. For the lifting purposes, and they used to connect the load or container to any lifting devices. These will be used for the connecting the device. For example, these shackles were built into the EOT crane hooks. Then another one for forklift truck. It is in a power truck having a projection of fork to pick, hold, and carry and unload and replace the material or in a container. Maybe power driven or battery driven operator will be there, conveniently used on the smooth floor. These will be conveniently we can use in the smooth floors. This is again pick and hold and carrying of. It is very convenient in the smooth surfaces. And payloaders and power shovels and winch crab. This winch crab will be used for the holding of the scrap for loading of the machines or loading of the ships, pullers and hydraulic or pneumatic jacks. These are used for the used to dig, lift and transport heavy materials, maybe excavators or JCBs or any other kind of excavators. And well-trained operators, supervision and good maintenance are necessary. For these kind of operations, they should have a well-trained operators. We should not allow any fresher or any trial run basis to run these kind of such a big machines. We should only allow the people who are well trained under proper supervision. These lifts and elevators will be like K-bar, two fixed points. This is also in between two fixed points, and lift vertically and a cage or cabin must travel in a fixed path and well enclosed interlocked doors or gateways necessary. I think it will be like a cable drive in. I think in Vizag also it is having one of the facilities somewhere. I mean, I forgot the name exactly. So this will be having two fixed points. They can able to travel from one end to other end. Another one, hoist. This is also one of the tool or equipment for the usage of mechanical material handling. There will be three types of hoist: electric, pneumatic, and hand operated chain hoist. The chain hoist are again the three types: sparrow gauge and differential and screw gauge. And sparrow gauge type is the most efficient, and push button cable must be supported by a chain to protect against the strain. Another one is monorails. This is also one of the equipment or device we use for mechanical handling, and should be well supported on both ends like a hanging bridge. Two sides it will have a railing on the ground level, so it can be look like a hanging bridge, and the chain pulley block or hoist mounted at a, it should be moved freely. It should have a chain pulley block, and the stops must be provided at the both ends, and useful to lift, load, and carry horizontal between two fixed points. It will also have a fixed path, so it is used for the lifting of load and between two fixed points. Venugopal sir, you want to tell something?
The audio is not clear, sir. I switched off and again log it down, but it is not coming properly. I don't know about others.
What about others? Still
Same
having
problem,
any
sir.
वॉइस इंक्रीज
हाँ
Same
सर
problem,
आज
sir.
ऑडियो क्लियर नहीं आ रहा सर
Voice not clear, slowly, sir.
one
Signal
second.
cut out అవుతుంది.
Network is clear only.
అంటే ఒక్కొక్కసారి వస్తుంది ఒక్కొక్కసారి రావట్లేదు.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
Right now, it's born, sir.
Okay, maybe network problem. Okay, yeah, thank you. I'll just 1 second. I'll check my internet speed. It's so much. One second, huh?
Good voice clear on, sir.
Okay. One second. I just the Wi-Fi connection is high only. It is not showing any.
Okay.
Just give me a moment.
Yeah. So Vijay Kumar, I sent you a message. Sir. So Vijay Kumar.
Okay. Monorails. This monorails should be well supported on the both ends like in a hanging bridge, and chain pulley block or hoist will be mounted on. It should be moved freely. And it's also having a fixed path between two ends, and it will move in a horizontal this thing. Then safe working load. A safe working load SW is limited a safety factor to lift and carry out a load safely, and it must be clearly marked on any lifting device, any hoist or lifts or lifting machines and tackles. A safe working load has to be specified by a competent person after through testing.
So your voice is not audible.
One second, I'm not speaking. My dongle in office, I need to update. Matthew. இதுல டாங்கிள் அந்த கெஸ்ட்டுக்கு கொடுத்துருக்கு. ஒரு வாட்டி செக் பண்ணுங்க. நீ அங்கேயே இருக்கா ஆபீஸ்ல? மேத்யூ எங்க இருக்கு? ஆபீஸ்ல இருக்கா? போயிட்டு இருக்கா? இல்ல இந்த மதியம் அந்த கெஸ்ட்டுக்கு நான் இது டாங்கல் கொடுத்துருக்கு. அது கலெக்ட் பண்ணிருக்கேன்னு ஒரு வாட்டி இப்பதான் இது ஞாபகம் வந்திருக்கு. ஒரு வாட்டி கேளுங்க ஒரு வாட்டி. சரி, ஓகே. கேட்டு எனக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப்ல மெசேஜ் போடுங்க. இந்த டாங்கல் ஏர்டெலோடது. சரி. Okay, sorry. Again, I need to pay to company. 2000 SWL. SW is in a safe working load of any equipment for using lifting any. Whatever you are going to lift, it must be marked on the equipment. And then safe working load has been specified by the competent person after through the testing and examination. If you see in the Factors Act, we should have had a legal requirement for all the lifting tools and tackles need to be get certified by the competent persons. If the wire ropes and a metal sleeve or tag with a marking is attached, if it is in a wire rope slings or if it is a chains, the marking of the quality of the material on every 20th link or 3 feet apart is lesser. If you see your chain slings, they will mark it. They will have a symbol. They'll put some grade letters as well in alphabets. If it is the hooks, they will give on one side of the hook, they will mark it as an SWL. And where the marking on the body part is not possible, it should be tagging. If you are not able to put a SWL there on the lifting part, there you can put a tag as a SWL. Then this is the calculation for SWL for calculating any lifting tools or tackles. You can take the minimum brake load quoted by the manufacturer and the factor of safety. This factor of safety also the manufacturer will give along with that the tools or lifting tools or machines which is supplied. If it is a wire rope, you can use this formula wire rope dia square into 8. For example, if it is a 12 mm dia rope, we can use it to 8. It will be lifting and safe working load of 1152 kgs. This is a duplex web slinging capacity. As I told you yesterday, for example, this will be a standard lifting capacities of these belts. There are multiple colors. Each color indicates a standard lifting capacity. If it is violet, it will lift in a capacity of 1000 kgs in a straight line. If you are using a choke hitch, it will be having a capacity of the similar belt. If it is using in this kind of method, choker method, it will reduce its capacity to 0.8. In the sense 200 grams or 200 kilograms, it is reducing its ability of lifting or capacity of lifting. If you are using in a basket hitch in a U shape, it is having a capacity of up to lifting doubling the straight line lift. So if you are using any such kind of lifting belts, we should train the people on this method of lifting, how the slings have been applied. They will think that okay, I'm lifting 1.8 ton, I'm using 2 ton belt, it is okay. But here if you are using any choker method, The belt can able to lift only 1600 kilograms. So we have to train them while a different application of these web slings. The capacity will be varies, so that they will have an idea. They will choose higher capacity belts whenever they are lifting. We'll see in safety in design, construction, and operations of these lifting tools and tackles. The hoist limit switch to cut off the power and apply brakes when the hook or cage rises to a predetermined level to prevent the overwinding. Every hoist will have a limit switch or cutoff, which is the hook it is reaches to the maximum vertical height, it will automatically stops. Even though if you are trying to operate, it will not allow to 2K over. These limit sets to prevent over traveling and over transferring. These limit switches should be automatically reset within a reasonable distance traveled in opposite directions. If in your company the multiple EOT cranes, multiple jib cranes are there, multiple monorail cranes are there, there we need to have a anti-collision sensors in between two cranes, so that at the time of operation they should not collide with each other. An emergency push button for the prompt use. In case of any emergency, we can use push buttons as well in various locations to stop the cranes. And isolation switch to cut off all the power except lighting and the power earthing. Sometimes the people used to have an emergency button for the controlling all the cranes. So if you are using the single button, it can able to stop or it can able to isolate the supply of all the cranes which you are installed in your facility. In the safety point operation, no loading over SWL or marking of SWL and load indications for varying SWLs, which means we should not overload or we should not load above the SWL which is designed. These are the some of the conveyors and their features, different conveyors. And these conveyors are also very dangerous. We should have proper guarding, and here also we need to put a pull tag safety device. There will be a pull tag with a wire rope. They will put along the length of these conveyors. At any point of time, if the people are entangled with these conveyors, if they can pull the tag so that, or pull the rope. The conveyors are used when the path is fixed, and industrial trucks are used when the path is free, which means these conveyors only suitable if the path is only fixed path, one location to other location. The trucks will be used for the other purposes. And conveyor shall be so constructed and installed as to avoid hazardous points between moving and stationary parts or objects like gears and sheaves and sprockets and movable parts. There will be a chance of entanglement with the rotating part. Those parts must be effectively guarded. And where workers have to cross over the conveyors in regular crossing facilities, affording safe passage and adequate lighting shall be provided. Passage in the sense we should need to provide a handrail, or we should need to provide a staircase to cross over the conveyor. To cross underneath, at least 7 feet headroom is required. If they are crossing underneath the conveyor, it is a minimum 7 feet headroom is required. If it is a crossover, should be with a bridge, stairs, and a handrail. If it is crossover, they need to provide a bridge, or they need to provide a walkway with stairs and handrails. And conveyor shall be provided at loading and unloading stations and at other convenient places with a device pull wire. As I told you, pull wire, this will be acting as an emergency stop for this conveyors. One second. कविंदर सिंह बताइए।
सर एक क्वेश्चन मेरे माइंड में था सर, मैं पूछना चाह रहा था।
हाँ,
सर हम लोग सर कोई लिफ्टिंग बेल्ट वगैरह यूज करते हैं या इधर वायर रोप यूज करते हैं सर, तो सर उसमें सर अगर मान लीजिए कि हम लोग किस तरह से वो बेल्ट को चूज करते हैं, इधर सर अगर मटेरियल अगर 1 टन का है अगर कोई मटेरियल का सर अगर वेट 1 टन आता है सर, तो उसके लिए सर हम किस तरह का बेल्ट चूज करेंगे, 3 टन का, 4 टन का? क्योंकि मेरा सर मैक्सिमम रिगर से बात होता है, तो वो बोलते हैं कि बहुत ज्यादा भी हम लोग यूज नहीं करते, कि उससे भी उसका वेट बढ़ता है।
हाँ, वो हैंडलिंग के हिसाब से, एग्जांपल यू आर लिफ्टिंग 1 ton, यू कैन टू गो
हाँ,
फॉर
yes,
द 2 ton or 3 ton. If you are using the more this one also, being the part is very small, you should not apply the belt properly, it will be slip out from that. Because if you are increasing the capacity, automatically the belt width will be high, I mean it will be increases. उसकी वजह से क्या होता है, हम लोग बराबर उसको अप्लाई नहीं कर पाते हैं.
हाँ। तो
If you
सर
are
ये
lifting 1 ton, you can go for 2 ton belt. That is more than sufficient.
सफिशिएंट है, राइट सर, बट ये सर अपना रेशियो जो निकला 1:4 सेफ्टी फैक्टर से जो सर आप बोलते हो सर, इज दैट 1:4? ये सेफ्टी फैक्टर होता है सर?
सेफ्टी फैक्टर कभी कभी जो लिफ्टिंग टूल्स के ना, वो कभी 5 देता है, 7 देता है, बेस्ड ऑन द मटेरियल दे आर यूजिंग एट द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ दोस लिफ्टिंग टूल्स. उसके हिसाब से हम लोग सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. मतलब ये 7 टाइम्स उसको अप्लाई करेगा तो तुरंत वो टूट जाता है अचानक से. Yeah, most of the safety factors will be maximum, they will give 5 or 7. In my experience, I have seen these 2 safety factors. Most of these lifting web slings and all, nylon ropes or nylon belts or these labels, they will be come with the safety factor of 5, or some belts they will give a safety factor of 7.
ओके 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 सर,
Yeah.
थैंक यू।
Yeah, thank you. And where the workers have to cross over, there we have to provide this underneath. If you are going, at least minimum we need to have a 7 feet headroom. If they are crossing over, we need to provide a proper facility to cross over the conveyor. And conveyor shall be provided at loading and unloading stations and convenient places with a device called pullware, so that for the stopping of conveyor in case of emergency. This pullware will be along the length of conveyor. Anywhere you can pull this wire, the conveyor will be stopped by electrically. It will isolate the conveyor motors so that the conveyor will be stopped. When 2 or more conveyors are operated together, the controlling device is so designed that no conveyor can feed into a stopped conveyor. This is also very important. If the 2-3 conveyor which is connecting to one, or they are crossing over, or they are exchanging of materials from one to one, it should not load to a stopped conveyor. So that what will happen, it is loading on the stopped conveyor, there will be a complete material spillage. There will be chance of accidents as well. Kabir Singh, still you have any doubt? Yeah. And wherever the conveyors are extended to the points not visible from the control station, they should be equipped with a gowns and the signal lights to be used by operators before starting the machinery, so as to warn the persons of danger. What will happen if sometimes, if you see any metal processing or any steel processing or industries or any cement factories, they will have a very long length conveyors. So there the eyesight will be, we cannot reach the people. So that what will happen, they will keep a flashing beacon or they will keep an indicator once they started the sound, alert sound. So that is passing or somebody is staying alert that the conveyor going to start. So in that way we can avoid the accidents. Then the operator should be trained in safe work procedures near the belt conveyor, and they should be trained to avoid pinch points to save their hands and the fingers. It is also necessary that for all the maintenance operators as well as the whoever is working on the conveyors, they should get in a proper training about this all pinch points and the nip points. And before starting maintenance or repair work, be locked in off position with the key in pocket, which means if you are doing any maintenance activity, the lotto need to be and with a lock and key. And it should tagged also with a not to start notice. It is in a general practice that if you are putting a lotto, wherever you have done an isolation, there we need to put a tag that do not operate with your name and phone number. Yes, Kabir Singh?
Sir,
हाँ
sir, I have small doubt, sir.
हाँ बताइए.
About conveyor belt, sir. సార్ చాలా ఫ్యాక్టరీస్ లో వింటుంటాం కన్వేయర్ బెల్ట్ రన్నింగ్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు కట్ అయిన తర్వాత మనుషులు డెత్ అయ్యారు అనేసి. సో కన్వేయర్ బెల్ట్ కి ఏమన్నా థర్డ్ పార్టీ కాంపిటెంట్ పర్సన్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ అవసరమా, లేకపోతే రబ్బర్ దాన్ని ఎలా కాంపిటెంట్ చేస్తారు సార్? యాక్చువల్ గా వారు తెచ్చిన మ్యాట్ ని కానీ కన్వేయర్ బెల్ట్ ని కానీ.
కన్వేయర్ బెల్ట్ త్రూ మెయింటెనెన్స్ ఓన్లీ మనం చూసుకుంటాము. పీరియాడిక్ మెయింటెనెన్స్, దాని తర్వాత వాళ్ళ అప్లికేషన్ వాళ్ళు వన్స్ ఇన్ ఇయర్ కానీ వన్స్ ఇన్ 2 years కానీ వాళ్ళు కంప్లీట్ గా బెల్ట్ వాళ్ళు తీసేస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో కాంపిటెంట్ పర్సన్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ అంటే యాజ్ పర్ మై నాలెడ్జ్ నేను ఎక్కడ వినలేదు. దట్ ఆల్సో ఐ హ్యావ్ టు చెక్ ఏమన్నా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఉంది అంటే. తెలిసి లేదు, నేను ఒకసారి కనుక్కొని చెప్తాను. కాంపిటెంట్ పర్సన్
కార్డ్ ఒకటి వస్తుంది, ఫుల్ కోడ్ ఒకటి, రెండే వస్తాయి సార్ యాక్చువల్లీ.
ఏంటండి?
సేఫ్టీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ లో మనం గార్డ్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ ఉందా లేదా దాని మీద ఫుల్ కోడ్
అదొకటి పెట్టాము, ఫుల్ కోడ్ ఒకటి పెట్టుకుంటాము. ఈ రెండైతే సేఫ్టీలో ఉంటాయి. ఈ కాంపిటెంట్ పర్సన్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ అనేది అది టు బి ఫ్రాంక్ నేనైతే వెళ్ళలేదు. నేను ఒకసారి కనుక్కొని చెప్తాను మీకు. ఓకేనా?
ఇంకొకటి ఓకే సార్,
చెప్పండి.
ఇప్పుడు పర్చేస్ చేస్తాం మనము ఫ్యాక్టరీస్ నుంచి. సో ఎగ్జాక్ట్ న్యూ పర్చేస్ చేసినప్పుడు దానికి టీపీ అవసరమా, లేకపోతే ఫ్యాక్టరీ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఫ్యాక్టరీలో పర్చేస్ చేసినప్పుడు వారంటీ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇస్తాడు, అది 6 months వరకు మనకు వ్యాలిడ్ అవుతుంది సార్?
అవును అవును,
6 months అదే సార్.
అది ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఒకసారి కనుక ఈఓటి క్రెయిన్స్ కానీ అదర్ చైన్ లింక్స్ కానీ చూస్తే ఏంటంటే అవి ఈ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చర్ సర్టిఫికేట్ అనేది మనం 1 year వరకు కన్సిడర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. బెల్ట్ అంటే వారికి డే టు డే లైఫ్ లో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ రోజే మీరు షాప్ ఫ్లోర్ లో బెల్ట్ ఇష్యూ చేశారు, అది ఆల్రెడీ ఆ ఇమ్మీడియట్ సేమ్ డేనే అది కట్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు. ఇన్ కేస్ నెక్స్ట్ ఇన్స్పెక్షన్ మీకు ఉంది అంటే ఇంటర్నల్ గా మనం ఎవ్రీ డే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి ఇన్స్పెక్టెడ్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ యూస్. ఒకసారి యూస్ చేశాను, సెకండ్ షిఫ్ట్ లో వాడుతున్నాడు, వాడు చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి. మళ్ళీ వాడుతున్నాడు అంటే ఈ హ్యాస్ టు చెక్ అండ్ యూస్. ఇన్ కేస్ మాక్సిమం మనకు అందులో 10% ఏమన్నా మనకి బెల్ట్ లో కట్ అయింది అంటే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి రిజెక్టెడ్ స్ట్రైట్ అవే, డిస్కార్డ్ చేసేసి పక్కన పడేసేయాలి. ఎందుకంటే కాంపిటెంట్ పర్సన్ వచ్చేంత వరకు మనము ఈ నైలాన్ బెల్ట్స్ ని మనము కంటిన్యూ చేయలేము. అదనేది మనకి ఇంటర్నల్ ఇన్స్పెక్షన్ ద్వారా మనము దానికి ఒక డిస్కార్డ్ క్రైటీరియా ఒకటి మెన్షన్ చేసుకోవాలి. అంటే ఏ కండిషన్ లో మనం బెల్ట్ అనేది డిస్కార్డ్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఒక చార్ట్ ఒకటి పెట్టుకొని షాప్ ఫ్లోర్ లో డిస్ప్లే చేసుకుంటే వర్కర్స్ కూడా ఒక ఐడియా ఉంటుంది, ఓకే బెల్ట్ అనేది ఈ కండిషన్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు నేను డిస్కార్డ్ చేయాలి. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇంటర్నల్ ఇన్స్పెక్షన్స్ పెట్టుకొని మనము దాన్ని అవాయిడ్ చేయొచ్చు.
సార్ సేమ్ థింగ్ హైడ్రా కూడా కొత్తది పర్చేజ్ చేశారు, అది ఎన్ని మంత్స్ వరకు టీపీ అవసరం ఉండదు సార్?
అది 1 year వరకు మనకేం టీపీ ఏం ఉండదు సార్.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ
సార్. కొత్త తీసుకున్నాండి టీపీ
మనకి టీపీ ఏమీ అవసరం ఉండదు. నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ నుంచి మీరు చేసుకోవచ్చు.
సార్ నాకు డౌట్ ఉంది.
ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ద మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరర్ ఇట్సెల్ఫ్ విల్ గివ్ ఎ టెస్ట్ సర్టిఫికేట్.
సార్
హలో చెప్పండి చెప్పండి
సార్, నాకు డౌట్ సార్.
హలో లహరి గారు చెప్పండి, లహరి కృష్ణ చెప్పండి చెప్పండి మీ వాయిస్.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనం ఒక బెల్ట్ కొంటే, ఒక సేఫ్టీ బెల్ట్ కొంటే దానికి మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ డేట్ నుండి వారంటీ ఇస్తారా, మనం యూజ్ చేసిన డేట్ నుండి వారంటీ ఇస్తారు సార్?
మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ డేట్ నుంచే వస్తుంది.
అది నార్మల్ ఒక బెల్ట్ కి ఎన్ని ఇయర్స్ ఉండొచ్చు?
ఏంటండి?
ఒక బెల్ట్ కి వారంటీ అనేది ఇయర్స్ మంత్స్ అలాగ ఉంటాయి కదా, అది ఎన్ని ఇయర్స్ ఉంటుంది?